Hi, welcome back to Good Germs Off-Road Adventures. Now, I've been asked by literally nobody, what I keep on the quads for safety, rescue tools, whatever, when we're out riding. So, since nobody's asked, I'm going to go ahead and show you. So we're going to be looking at what I keep stored on the 570, the new guy here, and well, again, I need a name for it. Um, the other one's got a name. She's called Dusty. I don't know what to call this one. Comments are welcome. Suggestions are welcome. So let's start with the obvious here at the back. We've got a water jug here. And I found the Spout thing on a website called GoWesty.com. I'll put a link down in the comments down there, or description comments, where the words exist. I'll put a link to where I found that. It's not cheap, but it's awesome. And you can get replacement nozzles pretty cheap if you need. Um, anyway, the Rotopax, it's just a 1 gallon. It's perfect. And this isn't used for drinking water. This is used for, when you stop and it's hot and you need to get some water on you, just to help keep you cool. And look, this has come in handy many, many times. Up top, we have our Garmin GPS. And I used to use a small one, but since I've gotten old, my eyes quit working. I want to get a bigger screen, and I found this unit, GPS Map 276CX. It's been discontinued, undiscontinued, discontinued, undiscontinued. What I like about it, though, is it's not a touch screen. You've got actual buttons. And, when you're out riding and doing things, buttons are nice, especially when you have gloves on. You can, operate the thing, and it comes with the amps mount, rugged mount, which is pretty slick. I've got it tied to keyed on power, so if I key this thing on, we should see this thing do a thing. Probably not. Yep, there it goes, Garmin. So that way I'm not running on the batteries um, as we're using it. It's running off the quad batteries. But I'm not going to turn the unit on, so it's probably just going to go into back to sleep mode after it does that. Yep. And the other thing we keep up here is our spot tracker. If you go out riding in places or exploring in places or having your off-road adventures, in places where you don't have cell service, get yourself one of these. They're not terribly expensive. The service plans are reasonable, and it lets you send messages back to friends, family, anybody that cares in case you get stuck. Let them know how you're doing, and it works anywhere in the world. You've got a couple of customizable messages. You've got your, check-in, custom message, the helping hand, which is, you can program anything into that one if you want, but it's supposed to be if you need help, but it's non-emergency. And then, of course, you've got your SOS, which is, send me helicopters because I'm, in some serious trouble. It'll also track your position. You can turn tracker on and it'll update your position every 5 minutes automatically, or 10 minutes, or however long you want to set it for. But it's just good peace of mind if you're out in places with no cell service. Recently, I just did a trip out in Barstow by myself. This was handy. I was able to keep my family updated to where I'm at, and they knew that everything was going okay. And since we're up here at the front, let's go ahead and see what we've got up here. All right. So over here, we've got a bit of a knife. Don't really know what that's needed for. A couple of tow straps. This is actually a tree saver kind of deal for the winch. And then we've got a regular tow strap here. On this side, let's see, we have, well, there's a knife in case you need a knife. That's nice. A razor knife, to be clear. Here's a tire pressure gauge. We have tire repair kit, for putting plugs in. We also have this neat glue tread thing, and this is kind of neat. If you gash a sidewall, you can't really use a plug. This kit is for repairing gashes in sidewalls. They're a little pricey, but again, peace of mind is worth it. We've got our plugs, and of course we have the rubber cement that's needed to do tire plugging activities. Can we get all this back in? Sure. Okay. This bag here, I don't know what's in here. Let's have a look. That's a lie. I know what's in here. We've got a little Harbor Freight air compressor. Again, if you're carrying air compressors like this, you're going to want to check them every so often, make sure they're still working. They get banged around quite a bit. Anything else in here? No, just the air compressor? Okay. I opted for the cheap plastic one because it's light and small, but it works just fine. You know, these tires only need, on these units, on these 570s, they only need about 7 PSIs. Put our knife back. Come over to the other side. Okay. Here we have a shovel. This is the Harbor Freight Badlands, collapsible, foldable somehow shovel, and it comes in this nice bag. As you can see, it's really clean. I haven't used it on anything yet, but guaranteed, if you don't have something, you're going to need it. Apparently, some trash. Sure. Let's see. I've got a pin. Why do I have a pin in here? I have a pin in here because I've got a shackle. And the shackle is good in case I need to tow somebody out, and I don't want to keep this on the back of the quad all the time, so I just, put it down here. This is just some bungee cords. You never know, you might need to bungee something together. Let's see. Here we've got some winching accessories. There's a couple of shackles, a snatch block, in case you need to winch something or somebody. And these are just some more paracord type tie down things, just in case. You never know what you're going to need. Again, guaranteed, if there's something that you didn't pack, you're going to end up needing it. And this stuff actually fits in here pretty well. All right, let's move on to the rearward side of the quad. Hello there. At the back of the machine, the storage compartment has this neat little tray up here, and I keep my my traveling hat, which I need a new one. Maybe somebody can suggest one, or maybe just send me a cool traveling hat. My head size is, large. Actually, no, it's very large. Some towels, some other gloves, in case you want to get out and do some things that you need gloves for. And these are some headlamps. Okay, see if we can get all that to fit back on there nice. Probably not very good. Sure. Toilet paper, because, well, first aid kit. Now, this first aid kit's neat. It's got a big Velcro patch on the back, and I've got a Velcro patch up on the inside, so it'll sit nicely up out of the way in there, and it's got a big handle. You can just yank on it, and if you're in a hurry, you can just grab this, and it just opens right up. Now, I did assemble everything that's in here. I'm not going to go through all of it. Everybody has their own opinions on what they need in a first aid kit, but let me show you what I really like about this first aid kit. This comes from a place called LA Police Gear, and they've got a pretty cool website. They have a store in Ontario, California, and I think Valencia is where they're based out of. But this pack came from LA Police Gear. This water pack, this hydration pack that I use, also came from there, but these first aid kit packs that they sell come with this Molly, how are you supposed to pronounce that? Let me know. Anyway, they come with this Mole Velcro thing that attaches very well, and it Velcros to it. Now, this one, I know it's a different color. I have 2 of these. I have another one that's the brown, and I have the red one here. But this is the hydration pack I wear when I'm riding, and you can see I've got shears, tourniquet. Don't just have a tourniquet. Teach yourself how to do it, because you never know when you have to do it on yourself or somebody else and you don't know how. Anyway, this LA Police Gear thing has the Mole and this. And so going hiking, as I just did looking for some Indian fertility caves, I just take this out of the quad and stick it on there. Now I've got my first aid kit on here, and I'm not wearing it all the time when I'm riding. And it just pulls right off nice and easy. While we're talking about this hydration pack, you know, it holds like 3 liters. You can see I have this weird light thing on here. And this is, if we're doing any exploring in mines or anywhere dark, everybody that has one of these, and I have like 5 or 6 of these, everybody uses them. It's got this neat light on there so you can find them in case their flashlights go dead or whatever. See, I've got a pocket knife strapped up on there. In here, I've got some more batteries, AAAs apparently, which is good because the headlamps all use AAAs. Some duct tape. You never know when you're going to need duct tape, and this is some flat duct tape that folds up nicely, and an emergency blanket. This is a tool of 1,000 uses. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to the box. Back to the box. We've got one more thing in here. We've got our tools. So we've got a tool roll. This is the Rhino USA. Don't let the name fool you. It's not made in the USA. They're designed in, I think the company's in the USA, but the stuff still comes from, you know, China. But I like this roll bag because it holds everything I want, probably more than I need. Got this pocket up here. What is in here? Another thing of duct tape, zip ties, because, you know, you gotta have zip ties. Unroll the thing. At the top, you've got another pocket, and I don't have anything in there apparently. Each one of these little bags here is Velcroed in. You can take out, but this one says specialty. So in this one, I've got a spark plug holder. Not so sure why, because these units are new. Does it have a plug in it? Oh yeah, it's got a brand new plug in it. Again, you never know. I mean, you don't look on 4-stroke machines. Replacing spark plugs on the trail, not such a common thing like it is on 2 strokes, but it just never hurts to have one. We've got some different tools. These are some Torx bits, some American and Mitrek Allen keys here, and this just fell. This doesn't really fit very well there. Let's see if we can fix that. Apparently not. Well, now it's stuck on something. Okay, also in there, this is the factory toolkit from Polaris. So keep that in there, and I keep it, it's got everything that came with it, you know, that's fine. I think I dropped something. Yep, the spark plug. Zip that back up. I think if I pull this over, that's better. Okay, this one says miscellaneous tools. What's in here? Let's see. A multi-screwdriver. This little thing, which I'm not really sure where it came from or why. I think I just had this for some reason and thought it would be cool to put in here, so I did. And, you know, this is one of those cheap do-everything screwdrivers, but they're handy. Some electrical tape. All right, this one says pliers, so we have some locking pliers, some smaller locking pliers. You know, channel locks, various types of pliers. There's some needle nose, regulars, and a pair of diagonal cutters. This was part of that thing. Yeah, this is part of that, so you can change the bit. Still haven't found a use for it, never used it, but I really think it's neat, so that's why we have it. This one says, oh, we just did wrenches. We did pliers. No, we didn't do wrenches. We did pliers. Let's check the wrenches out. So we have the universal wrench. And I found these at a store. They're husky, so it must have been Home Depot that I found them. They're a little loose. I should probably tighten these up, but you know, this is SAE. This is millimetre. You know, just nut drivers. I really like these. It's pretty neat. I'm going to keep this out because it apparently needs to get tightened. Sockets. Well, in this sockets, what I've done is I've got the Pittsburgh through socket kit here. Because it'll do regular things and not so regular things. So I went ahead and did that, and I've got a baggie in here with all the individual sockets, and that baggie's torn, so I'm going to have to replace the baggie. But I tried to organize them by metric and, not metric. But my baggie tore, so I'm going to have to probably replace on that. And that's it. Oh, let's put the universal wrench back in the wrenches pouch. But that's it. That's what we carry on the quad here. I know I didn't show you any coolers or anything like that. We're still experimenting with that. I've got a couple of things that we started using on the older quads. I had an ice chest that fit quite nice on the racks, but these newer 570s, the front rack, it's not very deep, so it doesn't really fit any sort of ice chest on the rack, which is kind of a bummer. I mean, I like the design; it just doesn't hold much, and the rear box isn't very tall. So most ice chests won't even fit inside the rear box. But let me show you what we've been kind of doing for coolers in the meantime. So I picked up this Ice Mule bag, and I don't know what size it is, but it's whatever size, it is. I picked this up last year, and, it's supposed to be waterproof and all those things, and it probably is, but if you put your stuff and ice in here, roll the thing like you're supposed to, and put it, in the back box, that ice is it's gonna seep out. It gets wet. It gets the inside of the box wet. But it does work pretty good if you use ice packs in it and put your snacks and beverages or whatever you want in there. It does work pretty good. But I've also just picked up this. So I just picked up this Camp Zero 10, I think. And of course, it's a Yeti knockoff like everything else is, but Yetis are just way too expensive. So I picked this up. Now, obviously, this won't fit inside that box either. But very seldom, when two of us go out, do we need to fill up both boxes on these. So I could very easily just take that box off and strap this to the back of the wife's quad here. Or it could strap to the front rack. That might be okay too. But this is very nice, and it's got the rubber seal, so you can use actual ice in this, and it won't leak out. And in my recent trip to Barstow, it was 108 degrees. I left this in the car with ice, a few bottles of water, and a Tupperware with some sandwiches in it. And I left it in the car, and the car was easily 120 degrees inside. And when I got back after 6-7 hours of riding, there wasn't even water in the bottom. The ice hadn't even melted enough to make water in the bottom. So this thing was quite good. So I'm excited to try this out in some actual riding. I think the combination of these two will be good. This will fit inside the rear box quite easily. Just using ice packs, that way it doesn't leak. Be good for things like water, maybe some snacks that don't need to say ice cold, but waters, Gatorades. This is perfect for that. You can put a couple more bottles in here, ice, in your actual food, sandwiches. If you're doing, if you're going to go out for a ride where you're going to be out long enough to need lunch, I think that'll work. So we'll give these a try, and we'll see how they work out. So let me know in the comments, what do you keep on your rig when you're out exploring? What kind of tools, accessories, safety equipment, emergency equipment? What do you use? What do you keep on your machine? I'd be curious to know. Is there anything that I don't have that maybe you think I should? Or maybe there's something that I have on there that you've never seen somebody carry before. Or maybe you just think I'm a little insane and carry way too much on my quad, which is, probably true. But I still, I've said it before, I live by the idea that, if you're prepared for something to happen, it probably won't happen. But if you're not prepared for it to happen, it's probably going to happen, and you're going to be a little, disappointed, to say the least. Well, that's going to do it. Just a real quick video of, answering the question that literally nobody has asked. And hope you got something out of it. Again, leave some comments. What do you do? What do you think? And as always, ride safe, and we'll see you later. But before we do any of that, please just do us the favor, the like, subscribe, share, comment, all those things. All those things really help. I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but I feel like if I don't say it, then I probably should have said it. And my wife always watches the videos back and says, hey, you need to remind people to do those things. So I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but please do the things. Anyway, see you later.